Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it, and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. When you think of air pollution, you may be tempted to look outside, but this week we're helping a young family clear the air inside their home.
But as far as the air quality, it's just something you don't think about because you can't see it.
This Gulf Coast house is in one of the rainiest cities in the U.S. and is home for John and Kim Garrett and their 2 children, 2-year-old daughter June and newborn son Rhodes.
We've been in this house for 4.5 years, so when we moved to Mobile coming from Texas, we knew that we wanted to be in Midtown because all the houses had character and it was just so different from Texas, and that's what we liked so much. And we came to this house and we just fell in love with it.
Some of the issues we've faced is moisture inside the home, also underneath the house. It's a crawl space.
And John did try with the crawl space to try to reduce some of the water and standing water that was underneath the house by putting out rain barrels and piping. And with having mold and mildew in the house and constantly having to upkeep and take care of it, you know, we know that it's affecting our health, but more importantly, our little one's health, and that's an utmost concern for us.
The moisture problems that John and Kim face are just part of a larger indoor air quality issue that we're about to help them solve.
And this is the other bathroom I was telling you about.
All righty, let's take a look here. Okay, you got your exhaust fan up there. That's good. Okay, it's working. It's probably big enough because it's a fairly small bathroom. What about whether or not it goes all the way to the outside in the attic, which you don't spend a lot of time up there, but have you ever seen a pipe going from here, like a vent, all the way to the outside?
No, we haven't.
And that's not uncommon, especially in an older home like this where they put the vent in, and whether they forget about it or didn't recognize how important it is, that happens a lot. So we'll have to look at that really close. Now, what about cleaning? Mold, mildew, are you seeing much of that?
Mm-hmm, we are.
It
needs to be a continuous process.
Okay, all right. Well, that's even more of a reason then to do something with it, because that just shows the presence of moisture in here and causing you to work a lot harder than you need to.
Yeah, our hands are already full.
All right, let's take a look at the kitchen. That's another real important area.
Just this way.
All right. Well, you know, really for this age house, this is a lot larger kitchen than you usually would have.
And it was fully updated before we moved in, so we haven't had to do anything.
Perfect, that's good. Well, let's see how well they did in the remodeling with the actual ventilation in this. These are notorious, for being recirculating. So it's just blowing it right back in, no vent, nothing. So that moist air and the smells and so forth, even though there's a charcoal filter in there, is blowing it right back out. And I'll tell you what, it's probably contributing to that problem right there. Just because you get enough heat going up there's probably caused that to start peeling. This is a little trickier, but it's possible with this brand that we can change that a little bit to be able to directly exhaust it to the outside. If we do that, that's going to make a really big difference in here.
Great.
All right, some other things. What about the heating and cooling system?
It's actually in the attic.
Okay.
The filter's on the ceiling.
Okay, so that's a little harder to get to. Does he change it on a regular basis?
He does. He's very good. He's very,
Oh.
he's on it.
Wow. Perfect. Well, that's good, because that's one of the best places to really knock down a lot of the problems that you have, the allergens and all of the things that you'd be concerned with little Rhodes and certainly with June. When I got out of my truck, I noticed that your side yard here is a little higher than the actual house. Not unusual for the adjacent area of the yard to build up. Any water possibly getting under the house?
I have seen water under it before.
Oh, okay.
So it is definitely an issue.
Okay. Well, we definitely need to look at it, because if there's any way we can divert that, because moisture under the house, it's going to get pulled up through here somehow. So, all right, I'll tell you what we'll do. Alan and Chelsea will be over with me tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to look at everything we've talked about. We may find a few other things. We'll get some solutions together, and then we'll all work together, figure out how to solve all the problems.
Great.
When I return with Alan and Chelsea, we split up to check things out. While I look into the drainage issue in the side yard, Chelsea surveys the home's foundation vents and Alan does a closer inspection of the bath vent fans. Then he and I head up to the attic to see if they're ducted to the outside and to size up the heating and cooling equipment. I think we found some great solutions to the problems we discovered here, especially in the bathroom. The bath vent fans are not vented anywhere except right in to the insulation. We'll be replacing those with a more powerful fan and one that's a lot quieter. That'll make a big difference in the bathrooms in terms of controlling that humidity. In the kitchen, we feel like we can take the microwave down and reverse the way it's vented now, which is basically recirculating, and get that venting to the outside as well. And speaking of the outside, we'll be bringing some dirt in to do some extra grading to make sure that water doesn't get under the house, and add a few extra foundation vents for that nice cross ventilation. We're also going to explore putting in a whole house ventilation system, which will add extra filtration to improve that indoor air quality, as well as help control the humidity in the house. This is going to make such a difference in the indoor air quality of this home.
Now you might be wondering why I'm straightening out this wire hanger. I'm actually making a dusting wand using an old cotton sock. There you go, that's the wand. It's just a simple solution for dusting, particularly in hard to reach spots. So once you get the sock on, this is a cotton sock, spray it, apply a little dusting spray. You want to do both sides, because we're going to use both sides of this wand. There you go, that should be enough. And now you can use it for dusting pretty much any surface. You can do mantles, shelves, of course, any kind of shelving. It's really great for reaching up high along the ceiling where crown molding is. Dust tends to collect in the corners in particularly. And another really great use is ceiling fan blades. The top of these blades always collect a lot of dust, and sometimes you can't see it from down below, but if you wipe it with this wand, look at that, it sticks right to it. And once this is really dirty, you can just peel it off, toss it in the laundry, go get another sock, and keep on dusting.
John and Kim have 2 small children, so we're working to help them improve their overall indoor air quality. To help us do that, we have my friend Steve Davies installing a whole house ventilation system called an ERV. Steve's crew is adding a vent inside the house that will draw out stale, dirty air, while a vent outside draws in fresh air. This system from Braun, called the ERV S100, is designed specifically for this climate, so it can manage the excess moisture that's common in the air here.
The ERV systems, the energy recovery ventilators, help bring in the outside air. And they use the inside air, the conditioned air, to make it cooler and more dehumidified to bring it back into the house.
While Steve's guys continue connecting the vents with ductwork to the ERV, Alan's getting ready to add some bathroom ventilation.
This is the fan that's up there now.
Okay.
And it's not a great picture, but you can see the CFMs shows 80. Sones, which is how loud it is 4.0.
Okay.
Here's what I'm replacing that with. 110 CFMs, so we're going to move more air, and instead of 4.0, 0.3 zones. It's going to be so quiet.
Oh, that's so nice.
Plus, this fan has a humidity sensor in it. That means that when moisture hits a certain level in that bathroom, it's automatically going to kick in.
Well, John, I think we have a solution out here, because definitely this water is running down here, and I would imagine in one of those heavy rains, you're getting a little water getting under the house somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I think we can do is, I looked at the foundation vent over there, and it's about that far off the ground. I've got some dirt coming, and we can put that much dirt and just slope it away. If you have a large amount of moisture under a house like this one that's up on a crawl space, it's going to find its way inside. That means bad air, mold, mildew, and also a situation that makes it a lot harder to heat and cool the home. The first order of business is to trim the bushes back from the house a bit, so we'll have a little room to work. After we remove a few weeds and reroute the drain pipe for the downspouts, it's time to start moving dirt. You see that line right there? That's right on the bottom of that vent. That's our high mark.
Okay.
Go there, and then we'll just slope it straight down.
Surprise up in the attic.
There's never good surprises.
This is a surprise. The bath fan, the one that's in the hall,
Right.
it's vented.
The one back here.
Yeah, that's right.
But I looked on the roof, and there's no cap at
It
all.
comes straight up and then runs horizontally all the way to this gable.
To the back gable?
It's back here.
Are you sure?
I followed it. It stops right, just caps off right there at that cable. Ideal would be going straight up, but it's acceptable, and that means it is moving the moisture out.
Less time in the attic?
Yep.
More time on the shovel. So once we finish moving the rest of the dirt and raking down the grade that will protect the crawl space from rainwater, we move back inside to get started on converting the microwave to vent externally.
Just in time. We have definitely been able to convert the microwave.
Great.
We'll be able to vent it out. Now, it did take a little bit. We had to bend some metal here. We had to refabricate, rebuild the ball bearings in this.
No.
Wow.
We flipped the motor, and that's it. It took 20 seconds.
We could
There were
have
three screws. We had 3 screws we had to deal with. And we'll be able to get this thing back in tomorrow. But here's the other decision you have to make, though. You know, we'll convert this to a round pipe.
Okay.
We could leave the pipe there and paint it, you know, like the wall. Or we can build, the most common way is to build just a little case around it, just a little cover.
Okay.
That cover could match the cabinets, or it could match the wall, either way.
Okay.
So, what do you think?
What do you recommend?
I think it would stand out more if you used cabinetry and stained it versus just us casing around it with some drywall.
Okay.
And then we can paint it. We can actually take care of that for you too, because that will be a little outside that, and that won't happen again since you're venting it properly now. And I think that's what I would do.
Perfect.
And this is actually a rare moment when I agree with him.
Wow.
There, let's go with
wow.
that.
Let's
Yeah.
write this thing down. What's today?
You know, I love it when a tool manufacturer really does a significant improvement to their tool because it's really going to make it better for you. And Husky has done just that. Now, their socket and ratchet set, it doesn't look any different, but let me just show you this. When you're usually using your socket and your ratchet, you have to get about a 10 to 15 degree turn before you can then lock it back and either loosen it or tighten it. But with this one, all you need to do is to be able to move it 3.6 degrees, and then you'll be able to go in the opposite direction, and that's either going to tighten it or loosen it. What does that mean, really? It means it's perfect for when you're working up in those tight spaces because you don't have to get that much range of motion in order to loosen or tighten the socket. Now, talking about this socket, look at these sockets right here. This little ridge right here on all of these are called knurls. And what those are designed for is makes it so that you can get a grip on those so that you can loosen and tighten it and remove it off of the ratchet a lot easier. Now, this attachment right here also, of course, you're going to get the extension to get into hard to reach spaces, but it's tapered. So it will give you that flexibility so that if you can't go straight on to your nut or to your bolt, you can reach it. So if you're in the market for a new ratchet and socket set, Husky's got a pretty good one.
This week we're helping John and Kim tackle several projects that will improve the indoor air quality of their home. Right now, Alan and Chelsea are getting set up to add some foundation vents.
The last time I did the foundation vents, it was just a metal screen. So are you doing that here, cutting a hole?
No, we want to match what's existing, and what we've got is an 18-inch hole with vertical bricks.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is come down 3 courses, and then I'm going to cut my vertical on that 18 right there.
Oh, okay, you horizontal cut.
Right, and then wherever my bricks are falling in there, we're going to take a cold chisel, we're going to start tapping them out and knocking as many of those out,
Okay.
cleaning them up. Then we'll get some mortar back in place and then stack our bricks.
Okay.
All right?
Now, I had a friend trying to buy a house once, and the insurance said it had to be completely closed or completely open for the crawl space. Do you think that's why they bricked us in the first place?
Danny and I both are firm believers in having that crawl space
Right.
open. If you're going to enclose it, then it also needs to be sealed completely. That's hard to do. So why not just keep the ventilation open?
Once the new vents are marked, Alan cuts through the mortar joints with a concrete saw and chips out the bricks to be removed. Then he lets Chelsea try her hand at brick masonry.
You got to see a lot of brickwork at the outdoor kitchen at your dad's, didn't you? Well,
Apparently not enough.
Apparently not enough.
It couldn't have fallen right where I needed it.
Chelsea's technique cannot be found in any masonry book on the planet.
Dude, this is not working very well.
You don't have to be a mason. Chelsea's proven that. She's doing a great job right now. No matter how ugly it looks first going on there, it cleans up great.
While Chelsea continues working on the foundation vents and her masonry technique, Alan gets back to venting the microwave. First, he cuts holes in the bottom and top of the cabinet to allow the venting duct to pass through it. In the process, he uncovers another side effect of recirculating hoods.
Now, yeah. That's grease.
Gross.
This grill up here that's open,
Right.
it was rolling everything this way and then pushing it up, rolling it back, so the grease is coming up here, moisture up here. That's why this is coming out.
When I turned on the vent, I thought that it was going somewhere.
The moisture is hitting the roof. That's why we're getting all that peeling paint. The grease particles, they're heavier. They're coming back down and they just settle.
Gross, a little embarrassing, and now thankful that that problem will be gone.
You know the real reason though, why?
Why?
Right there. You got your horseshoe upside down.
Well, so that the luck comes out.
Yet your luck runs out. That's a bad thing.
I like cooking,
My
so
luck
if you
is
said
running
it.
out. That's where that comes from. It's bad.
Oh, and we're Texans, so that's awful.
I know.
You gotta know that.
You should have that thing the other
We'll turn
direction.
that back up. We need all the luck we need in here.
Okay, good.
Next, Alan finishes routing the ductwork up into the attic, and from there on through the roof and completely out of the house. While he's up there, he'll do the same for the bath vent he installed earlier. Cleaning the grill and changing the air filter for heating and cooling systems regularly is one of the simplest things you can do to improve indoor air quality, but it's often overlooked. Another one is regularly cleaning damp surfaces, which is more likely to happen if it's easy.
All right, Kim, now that we have some of the issues addressed, there's still,
Okay.
might be times when mold will pop up or
Yeah.
mildew. This is perfect for a new mom. You don't have to scrub it. You just spray it on after a shower and then rinse it off the
Okay.
next day before your next shower.
Okay,
So once a week.
okay.
We get each other and we know how hard it is to maintain a home while working full-time and taking care of children. The hardest part with this is remembering to do it once a week. If you're anything like
Right.
me, you might have to set a calendar reminder. But all you have
Exactly.
to do is spray it on here after a shower, and then the next day you can rinse it while you're in the shower or right before you get in the shower. All
See,
right.
I can do that. That's really the name of the game right now, is to have it be done easily, quickly, but yet be efficient and to work.
Meanwhile, Alan is back in the kitchen wrapping the new vent pipe to conceal it. After some primer and paint, it will all but disappear while the vent continues working to clear the air.
I love you too.
John and Kim have a beautiful family and a beautiful home, so it was a pleasure to help them protect the health of both of them. The ERV was the biggest investment at a little over $1,000. The installation cost will vary depending on the situation and the contractor that you use. Reducing the moisture beneath the house required a little shovel work and the price of some dirt and mortar mix. Improving the ventilation in the bathroom took about $275 for the fan and duct work, plus a little of Alan's time in the attic. And converting the over-the-range microwave to vent outside just took time and a few parts. All total, we spent less than $1,400, which is a small price to pay to create a healthy environment for these little ones.
You take care of the visible things that you can see, making sure everything's clean, doing the laundry, cooking, this and that, but as far as the air quality, it's just something you don't think about because you can't see it. So having those things in place with the different filters and the ERV, just having that in the home now, it just puts our mind at ease knowing that our home is so much safer and cleaner for us and for our children, and it gives me a peace of mind.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot of things inside a typical home that can cause some really poor indoor air quality. So remember the basics. Exhaust all of that hot, moist air and those odors wherever you can, particularly those key areas of the home like kitchens and bathrooms. And make sure you're exhausting it all the way to the outside. You might also consider one of the balanced ventilation systems like we installed here that will bring in that fresh air, exhaust the stale air while balancing not only the temperature but also the humidity. Here's one thing I really feel good about. Now, I know that John, Kim, June, and little Rhodes are breathing a lot better air now than they were just a few days ago. And that's what we're here for, to help you with any of those challenges that you may have as a homeowner right here on today's Homeowner. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week.
better indoor air quality for the home.
That's great.
You gotta be kidding. That's 3 in a row. 3 people in a row here.
Bloopers.
He's done. He's had a busy week.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.